want to say praise and unto how Hashem Yahushua, Hashem Kodash, double honors to the apostles, to the elders of Graven Stone. Shalom to all the brothers and out there across the world, pushing and teaching this truth in answer 30. And honesty now, so shalom to the few sisters out there. Yeah, this is a brother from Jameson, Jamaica camp. Yashamai. I don't want to listen to this article, Sri Lanka, because the whole oil situation, what take place right now in the world, the base of the war that take place in the Middle East, right? So you have Sri Lanka, every Wednesday, right? Them have like a holiday, right? In order to basically, save back, oil. And people, been seeing what taking place in Cuba, and it seems like, there's no hope right now for Cuba, but this have also take place. So Cuba is an example of what to come to other countries or other Caribbean islands. Because you see what's happening right now with the oil. Right? And how the oil price keep on rising and rising. Right? So you have these countries who see what taking place now, and them are trying to save as much as they can because it keep on rising and rising. Right? And this is ultimately, I will lead to food, basically famine, food shortages, as we say. Right, and that's what the scripture actually speak about that will take place also in these last days that we're in right now, last days. Because Lord, how shall I speak about it? Right? Pestilence, right? Famine, earthquake in diverse places. These are the things that will take place in these times we're living in right now. Right, go on, bro?
This is an article from The Guardian. Basically, it says Sri Lanka brings in 4-day week to eke out stocks of oil and gas hit by Iran war. It says effective closure of Strait of Hormuz also affecting Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, which have brought in crisis measures. Sri Lanka is introducing a shorter 4-day working week to preserve its shrinking fuel and gas reserve as the Middle East conflict continues to severely disrupt energy supplies in the region. Countries across South Asia are facing crippling shortage of fuel and LPG gas, which are used for everything from home cooking to cremating bodies, as most supplies have been held up in the Gulf since the US and Israel began bombing Iran.
So it's a major Europe taking place right now in supplies across the world. Based off of one country where they make a movement, and it shows you how fragile the society really is. Because when certain things that stop come, like oil, a certain things, even when I go to the article, certain country, because certain country oil depend upon imported fuel and all these things, even out in Jamaica. Right? You see how quick, so the ripple effect, as we say, start to affect even certain countries. Right? And it's going to cost of living going to go higher. Right? So certain thing we can afford now, later down the line, you can't basically afford no more because the price are going way up. Right? And you know what? It come to mind as I bring up the article. Going back to, out in Jamaica, as I say, and then whole days, people used to, catch, wood fire, that the whole way, and then put ashes on the pot and then catch them fire and then cook, with wood. Right? In this modern days, I say, the majority of the younger generation don't understand and know about that because they don't broke up see that you. Right? They don't understand the whole survival thing, they're not good at way. Right? We're entering into some serious times here. Right, go on, bro.
2 Corinthians 14 and 13. So, now therefore, set thy house in order and reprove thy people. come forth such as be in trouble and no renounce corruption.
Yeah, renounce corruption. Come for such as be in trouble. Right? You know, the like-minded brothers. Also, the sisters out there. Bro?
Let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of men, put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter.
There's a greater evil they are ahead. Right. Greater things are also taking place right now. It's just a beginning of what to come. Right?
Well, for different scenarios are going to take place. Because we see upwards of evil in the earth. See, all over it. The Iran bombing, no other little skirmishes were going all over. See, a whole heap of things where the devil are trying to push out there. Yeah, the so-called white man, actually. Yeah, man, a lot of time wickedness they might try to push for the society. So greater evils than we say up now will come after.
Right.
See? Mm-hmm. So it's not no one of the time where we basically relax. See? And I get too comfortable. It says 2 Ezra 16 and 21. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth.
And we can see how the evil is growing more and more upon the earth, you know. Even out in Jamaica, you know, see all this, you know, American lifestyle, all this alphabet thing is taking over Jamaica so much right now, especially younger generation. Right?
God.
So that's basically one of his agenda is basically, you know, push this thing back to agenda. Sustainable development goal, Agenda 2030, you know, where these devils, you know, pushing in order to get them NWO up and running. Right? Or you have, you know, the latest kiss out in Jamaica now from the week start. You know, because out in Jamaica come like a Netflix series, you know, every week is like a different couple, you know, with these so-called celebrities out here in Jamaica. You know, some event go up with them. Some exposure, as I say. So Shaggy, at the latest update now, so Shaggy now in this, you know, as I say, a blouse. So, you know, have a lot of so-called Jamaicans and look out for the whole thing. Right? But we understand that these devils use these influencers in order to push them agenda.
Push the battle, you know?
Right?
Put us the battle to their mouth.
Yeah, use these men of influence.
Yeah?
To normalize certain things. Right? And we in a time now when the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and that's the him in the Hebrew, is getting ready now, enough to basically judge the society, judge the East side, right? Along,
yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, along with the whole 2/3 of people. We all the bullshit them basically doing in the society. I love so much wickedness, right? I say, he might punish them.
Yeah.
In Isaiah 39:11, he say, I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. This is the time. This is definitely the time when you're going to punish the earth.
Hey.
Right?
Another point, just want to get from the scripture. It says, victuals shall be so good cheap, because over here now, you know, a couple months ago we have basically a hurricane. You know, the hiking of food prices is up because you know, it destroy a lot of crops. But now we get back in a time now where the produce start coming in abundance again. You have a lot of things for the market, you know, there's nothing in the market now. So food, see, like you have cabbage, $60 a pound, different things. You know, it drop from about $250 to $60 now and so.
400?
400. Yeah, that one day that reach 400. The one at the time we reach near 1,000. Now that's $60 a pound. Some people are selling it. Some people are selling $100 a pound right now. So basically, as the scripture says, victuals shall be so good cheap, because things kind of look cheap now. But what take place over in the Middle East, see, I got creep up. I got take time creep up. Just like I creep up on Sri Lanka and Pakistan and all of them places, because them they're near in the region. See? So we are going to start to see the effect of it further down in the coming months, man. See? And then it's got people over here now, them in all this excitement. In the scripture said best to go to the house of mourning than the house of feasting. Because the house of mourning is where you're going to take check and watch and perceive the things that want to happen and take heed. Being in the house of feasting, you're just going to be excited, living up the life until a thing does something to you. The scripture says, sudden destruction, when the things are peace and safety, sudden destruction will come. So we're at that time now, but we need to take more heed to the things them what happen than for a free up. Yeah. It says again it says for the old victual shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion.
Right.
Yeah.
You can see the confusion in reach right now, as I mentioned earlier. Right, go on, bro.
It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine.
So perish of famine, so a lot of people gonna die of starvation.
Gone.
Right? Many people, scripture said, that's so. A lot of people gonna die of starvation, and as I mentioned, especially in the Caribbean here, highly depend on imported food. Things that Jamaica depend on 70% of Jamaica food is imported food. Right? Certain other Caribbean island, depend on imported food also. Right? So as soon as these ships that come to the wharf, then you're gonna really see what's the situation, because yes sir. Every 3 days, supermarket and truck come to restock the supermarket. So people can go to the supermarket and buy, sit in a liquor shop on the corner, and also people can get certain food items to eat. Right, but as soon as things start to really get serious, and it's very easy, we see it countless of times, we see it, how easy it is for food shortage even hit our island, because in the time you have a hurricane coming to Jamaica, and people start to really say it's really serious, them start to run to the supermarket fast, they get certain food items, some even fighting for bread. Right? Fighting to buy how much bread. So them alone want how much bread to buy themselves. So the selfishness shows so quick and easy. Right? 20 bread they want, you want 20 for themselves. Right. So it shows how easy it is for farming in this island. Right? This a rock we're living on right now. How people mindset change towards each other so fast. As scripture say, friend of fight against friends like enemy. And we already see the years coming up, when a certain hurricane come towards Jamaica and all the people react. Right? So it's very easy for that take over. This island here. Go on, bro.
It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
It's all who escape the starvation shall the sword destroy. The weapon. Right? The machete, the knife, the gun, you name it. That's basically in the modern day sword.
2 Corinthians 6:22. And suddenly shall the sown place, the sown is as in you sow seed, plant, farming. Farming. The sown places shall appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty.
Yeah, supermarkets I mentioned earlier, like supermarket, the wholesales, places where you go for get food. Every Friday and Saturday, mostly out in Jamaica, and mostly Friday and Saturday, people come to the mass majority of people from the country area, town, go to the supermarket to buy, right? Friday and Saturday, they call it weekend life, right? To get certain things. So people say, suddenly she shall the sound place appear and so on, and the full storehouses are going suddenly found empty. So trucks are going to stop come. And the little food we left back, these wholesale owner or supermarket, when they're going to try to save certain things for themselves and for them family and friends.
Yeah.
So where they're going to lead to? loot it. Right? It go through stages in order for, you know, people start to lose it. Because after a certain time, when people say, oh, there's no other hope, and them start to panic, they more loot.
That's right.
Right? No other option because they never plan or prepare.
That's right.
Right? Go on, bro.
See? And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hear it, they shall be suddenly afraid. See?
People start to get scared, you know, based off the talk of, you know, nuclear war, World War III. Right? People seeing it, and don't try to shun it because that's the mass majority of people. It's a certain thing them try to shun it because it's uncomfortable to the mind. Think about it, right? They're afraid to face reality. Right? Yeah, what I said, women can be careless and children can be careless, but men cannot basically be careless. Right? This should tell us. In Isaiah 32 and 2 say, a man shall be a hiding place from the covert and from the storm. So you can't afford to do that. You have to deal it from now. At that time to come, you are going to be your family shield, protector.
Keep that to show yourself, men.
Yeah, you remember this.
Remember this, yeah?
And show yourself, men. Right, what?
This is at that time shall friends fight one against another.
Done.
Like enemies.
So friends are going to fight against one another like enemies. I will see how easy it is here. As I speak about earlier, we see it countless time out in Jamaica. Even lockdown, when the lockdown take place, you see what take place in the, Mobile, you know, people, you know, see people moving towards, you know, you bread reaching and it's the supermarket, so them start to grab it and they will be ready for fight. People fighting for paper, toilet paper. So it's very easy for that take place here. I live in a selfish world. So people say at that time, the time we're approaching, friends are going to fight against friends like enemies. Right, go on.
That time shall friends fight one against another like enemies.
Go on.
And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein.
Go on.
The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. In
Right, go on.
It says, whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world.
Yeah, end of the so-called white man world. End of this wicked society. You know, we hope and pray the Heavenly Father give us the faith and the strength, you know, make it through all these things about to come on the earth and finish the work. Because that's very important. We have to finish the work.
Right.
Right?
Corinthians 15 and 14, it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh.
And we can see that now without a doubt. So the destruction of the society is very close. Even when I go into the article I show you in Sri Lanka. Right, this is basically what prepared to take place worldwide. And it's all by design.
Street shall be shut in the street. The door shall be shut in the street.
All by design. These banking family have to basically bring forth them NWO. I know them are the one been funding the two sides. Because this digital system have to come about fully.
Which is right.
So the scenario is been created for basically that thing come to the forefront right now. Because even out in Jamaica for years, you know, they've been pushing back the jam decks. And Jamaica was the first country in the world to make the CBDC, you know, become legal tender. And the mass majority of people in Jamaica, they don't even know about this jam decks thing here. So what these devils doing right now is going to give them the perfect opportunity to push this thing out. Right? And people will do anything at all in the time of desperation. In 2020, come to 2021 and they start to push out the juice. They're coming up and see how people willing and, you know, to do anything at all, so basically, you know, get that comfort, right? Costing out people. You want to make now go back to the normal. I don't want to take the juice. You see the mindset of people, easy to change you. When it comes to when pressure start to basically reach you. Right, the mass majority, go on, bro.
It says, for the sword and their destruction draw at night, and one people shall stand up and fight against another.
Yeah, you're going to have civil war.
And swords in their hands.
Weapon in their hand.
For there shall be sedition among men,
right?
and invading one another.
Yeah, people want to come up against the government.
They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power.
Yeah, and people want to lose it. A lot of these, the men you see in the society, when things start to really go south, as I must say, people going to lose it, or they're not losing hope. So it's all about survival. They don't really care about no party, politicians, no more. It's all about survival. Right?
A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
Yeah, that's basically what these men going to try to do. These military men, police, soldiers, they're going to try to control the mass.
Guard.
The National Guards, as brother mentioned. Even them FEMA troops try to control the mass of people, because they have chaos, uproars, and all these things. So they're going to try to, lock down certain, isolation, how take place and all these things. So try to explain to us what will take place in the near future, especially in America. Right? One.
For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
Yeah, men are going to be afraid. The scripture tell us here. So men are going to lose them heart. Men are going to lose, in Luke, it says men's heart feeling them for fear for the things that they see come up on the earth.
A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Yeah, so looting coming in a big way. So you're going to have a lot of men looting.
Blackouts, right? Like we have American blackout and all them things in the movie. You have the American documentary, the American blackout. The people, at that time, things start get away. Food shortage start come, so people are gonna start fight. Two men fight for one bean, one can of something. People are fight for and all them stuff. You have your food, lock way, a man hear about it, man come on feet. So all of them stuff that happen. Yeah. So we have some serious times ahead. These are just what the scriptures are the beginning of sorrows.
What's that right now? Lanka, I think on Wednesday, they have holiday just with save back on
electricity.
Yeah. God, see what's taking place now. Shortage is coming. Right? So that's it. Praise and honor unto Jehovah, Shemir, double honor to the apostles, to the elders of great millstone, and shalom again to all the brothers and to the few sisters. Also, shalom.
Shalom.